Welcome back to Bazaar. I'm Miko, and today we're doing an overexplained run for Dooley. What that means is not that this will be a guide for Dooley or a basics of the game instructional video, but rather as a legend player, I'm going to explain my full thought process when I am playing Dooley as thoroughly as I can. I'm going to try to explain my frame of mind, the way I think about the game, the decisions I'm making, and every little detail that goes into why I ultimately make the decisions I do, and hopefully that will be insightful to people looking to learn how to play Dooley a little bit better. Now, you might be asking yourself, wait a second, didn't you already do a Dooley Overexplained run? In fact, didn't you do two of them? And one was too much of a high roll to be valuable as Overexplained? As it turns out, yes, I did. I was really frazzled and had to stop recording like middle of session when I was recording my Overexplained run. I forgot that I did the second one that was actually properly done. So this will be the third Dooley Overexplained. I'll post this one like the next week or something. But yeah, whoops, my bad. I'm sorry for over-explaining Dooley too much. Here we are though. Anyways, on with the show. As always, we start at Dooley's workshop and get a choice of two cores. Now, these cores I do not think of as being particularly great. Ignition core and companion core I consider by far the best. Armored core I consider to be by far the worst. Typically, if I see armored core, I will always pick the other core. If I see ignition core, I will always pick it. And then the other four cores you have some degree of choice to make. For me, I don't really feel like I'm making a choice here. I'm just picking weaponized core. But I don't feel comfortable trying to win a run with weaponized core. It is highly unlikely that we finish the run with weaponized core on our board. But because it has a built-in scaling, it's actually not bad at getting some early wins in the first like 4 days, and then hopefully we find a way to transition out of this after that point. By far the best target for weaponized core scaling, by the way, especially in the early game, is going to be rocket launcher. We're hoping to find that during day one to give us a good chance of winning on the day one PvP fight. Now getting into the 3 kit options, I think gold tier skill is very good for Dooley. It's best if you have ignition core, because then you have a burn item already. And then depending on what core you have, how easy it is to fit burn and poison items onto your board, it will determine how good gold tier skill is. For us, with weaponized core, the only burn or poison item that makes sense alongside of a weaponized core is rocket launcher, which is fairly specific. Obviously, it's good with weapons, but I don't think you need weaponized core to just throw an Uzi on your board with left-handed, right? I don't think gold tier skill is particularly synergistic with anything other than companion core or ignition core, and I usually don't take it if I get one of the other 4 cores. Enchanted item is bad. It's fun, it's interesting, I've clicked it a lot, I've been burned by it a whole lot. Statistically, I am certain that this is the worst start, even though it is by far the most interesting. And that brings us to the least interesting start, and the one we will be clicking today, 12 gold, 2 income. Dooley starts with 4 gold. He has to buy his starting core, effectively. That means that he has disproportionately more value for gold in the early game than any other character. Sure, Pig's more comfortable using the gold to scale up and win on day 15, but Dooley just can't afford to go to shops on day 1 and tends to be broke as hell pretty much all game in my experience. So while I would take starting skill on a core that synergized with it, without a direct reason to care about starting skill more, I'm way more interested in taking 12 gold 2 income, especially because having a core I don't think makes it to my end game, I am very likely to try to transition to a build that drops the core, meaning I need a lot of gold, whether that's finding a large item like bunker and robotics facility, or finding power drill and duping it and going double drill. Whatever I'm doing, it takes a lot of gold to assemble that, and I need to start assembling the pieces for stuff like a power drill dupe immediately. So I'm going to start with 12 gold 2 income. Here we have Sharpening Stone, B1, B2, and Ayla. Ayla is by far the best shop on day 1 for weaponized core. It gives us a chance at rocket launcher, it gives us a chance at a drill to potentially dupe. The fact that I'm going to Ayla does not make B1, B2 bad. This is probably like one of the best events you can possibly hit day 1 for Dooley, no matter what core you have, because pretty much every core is way better at silver than bronze. However, Ayla sells me the weapon I need to win, rocket launcher, and the weapon I need to win long run, power drill. We buy the power drill every time. I'm going to buy this Uzi as well. It's just a very fast thing to charge or get scaled by the core. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to roll looking for rocket launcher. We miss it, damn shame. I think that locks me into an arc blaster angle. We're not going to win day 1 with power drill, but we can do arc blaster to the right, Uzi to the left. We can also do both to the left. It's hard for me to say which one I think is better. I can probably math it out though, can't I? Essentially, after 12 seconds, the Uzi will use the core once, dealing an additional 20 damage, and scaling this 1 more second faster, 1 more 10 damage. Compared to putting all that additional scaling on the Uzi, that should be pretty obviously best with weaponized core all the way to the left. I would have much rather get a rocket launcher here, but this can still win day 1, and it certainly can deal with any monster fight we have. Alpha Ray, I will mention I'm not taking this. You might look at this and be like, well, don't you get Alpha Ray? You're weaponized core, you're weapon spam. But 2 damage is literally nothing. It's just an awful card. The laser pistol is, again, like, yeah, it is a tech item. It's kind of fast for arc blaster. but I'd rather save my gold. Like, I took income start, but I'm already down to 6 gold with 2 hours left on the day. So buying bad items like laser pistol is just economically not worth it. Now, coming to our day 1 monster fights, we have Banana Bowl, Pyro, and Hanta Kimono. And if you don't know what these drop, you can't make an informed decision. I have said often in my videos that if I make a decision without thinking about it, then I made the decision wrong. Even if I stumble into the correct conclusion, I made the decision that the process of thinking about it was wrong. So in terms of informed decision making, it's important that you use external resources like howbazaar.gg so that you can come over and be like, oh, what do these enemies actually do? And you can click on them and see that Banana Bowl has a 1 in 3 duct tape, Pyro is nothing but hits for a burn build, and who's our other option? Hanta Kimono, they're trash. I'm not going to bother showing you that specifically. For us, it's just a question of, do I want to go for duct tape? I don't think I do. I have no shield skills currently, obviously. I have a power drill I'm looking to transition into, and duct tape's kind of awkward on late game drill boards anyway. And then I have, like items on the right of the core, which isn't where I want duct tape. Typically, when I'm trying to with weaponized core, it tends to be very far to the left. Duct tape's not going to be great at any point here. And I'm trying very hard to find a rocket launcher and down the line any burn item for the drill. So Pyro will pay off in a big way later. Additionally, Pyro has not higher average value. I'm going to click on Pyro. We're going to fight Pyro. And then I can show you here. Pyro has Fiery, which will be very, very good down the line immediately if I find a rocket launcher anytime early. And then if I get an item instead of that very good skill, I have a 2 out of 3 chance of getting 2 gold instead of 1 gold. The average gold value is a little bit worse than Banana Bowl because of the chance of the skill, but I consider the skill the biggest hit possible on this day 1 fight. And lighter to be by far the worst, but hey, every monster has a 1 gold drop you don't care about. It is at least a small fast tool for power drill though, so it's not just instantly getting sold or anything like that. Now, coming to hour 3, we have Small Tool, Finn's Big Bite, and JJ4 items. I'm going to go Fins here. Small Tool is generally, like events like this, you only take them for economy, but on day 1, when it specifies small, that's going to give you a 1 gold item. It's not going to be worthwhile. You never want to click this unless you're totally broke and everything else you're up against costs money. JJ filters down, not at all. And because even if I did get a second drill, I can't dupe it yet, more on that later, I wouldn't really care. Like, there's no massive hit on JJ right now. Finn's Big Bite is going to massively impact my chance of winning day 1. You can increase your shields by 10. Don't have shields, I missed the duct tape. You can increase your heals by 20. Never really take this unless you have like a crazy stacked first aid in. But Vitality Stew is the one that really matters. 5 regen. That is essentially 5 health per second, which is, before Sandstorm, 150 health. And that is a massive amount of additional health for the first 3 days. This really meaningfully increases your chance of winning your day 1 fights. And even your day 2 and 3 PvE fights, 5 regen is a massive amount. It really changes the math a lot. Now, for our last hour, we have Midsworth, small and large. There's no bronze, large item I care about. Not really that many small items I care about either. Up against 4 gold, up against the worst event in the game. Never click borrow, no matter what. It's always wrong. And on the subject of making informed decisions, there is an encounter cheat sheet available on the Reddit. And it has all of these things listed with what they do. So Strange Mushroom gives you a neutral item or 3 gold, and if you have the bushel, it unlocks a hidden fort choice, add plus 20 heal to your bushel. It's not actually 3 gold, it's 4 gold. There's some slight errors here, but nothing major. So if you don't know what these events do, that too can be looked up through other resources. Personally, I'm leaning 4 gold here. There's nothing at Midsworth that's valuable. I'm not going to spend 4 gold to roll. This is this is definitely going to be the best board I can assemble going into my fight. So I'm just happy going here. If it had been against a middle or something, maybe I've gone there looking for rocket launcher, but it's economically a really bad decision to go there. My odds of winning aren't great on my day 1 fight. Let's go see what he has. But when you take income, you accept that you've lowered your odds of winning day 1 pretty substantially. My opponent has an income start as well. He got the rocket launcher. It's with a companion core and no buffs. I should win this because this is not a good setup for day 1. Rocket launcher is great with ignition core and weaponized core. It's not a bad item no matter what, but with a core that's not scaling at all, the threat level of it's tremendously lower. And you can see that he's actually having most of his damage out healed by my regen. Barely anything is sticking to me. Even if this board had been much better, the gap here is enormous. Weaponized core, not a great core, not a fan of it, don't like it late game, but it can get you early wins, and I'm happy with even 1 win off of it. I don't think I'll be switching to drill tomorrow, but probably by like day 4 or 5, I'll be seriously trying to get out of weaponized core and into a drill build. Now, unfortunately, because of the stores I've gone to, which is, say, 1 Ayla, I have not seen a friend, I have not found any food or toys, and I cannot go tiny furry monster. That's really important because one of the options at Tiny Furry Monster, if you have one of those 3 item types that is listed, food, toy, friend, you can get 1 bonus experience with this guy. Experience is king. It's the most valuable resource in the game. If you focus experience throughout the entire run, you'll be multiple levels up on your opponents on days 13 plus, and that will be thousands of health, multiple skills, a massive difference in power. There are also various breakpoints throughout the run. If you've ever had a run where you're level 10 on day 7, you know just how crazy getting that enchant a day ahead of curve is. It's very important to never fall behind on experience. That's what the commonly community use threshold of level 10 on day 8 is. You should always be able to hit that by getting enough bonus experience. So it's important to get it just for general power reasons with experience and hitting benchmarks later for major levels like level 7, 10, and 13. However, the most major benchmark for experience is today, and we're behind schedule, unfortunately. See, you need 2 bonus experience by the end of day 2 to level up, because your first 3 levels all give you additional board slots. You need 2 experience to level up before your fight instead of after your fight. And 1 experience isn't hard. You can just fight the rightmost enemy for a bonus experience on any given day. I'll cover that more in a second. But the second one is, and we missed all the triggers for Tiny Furry Monster, unfortunately. There were no Chris Army Knives or Hamlets to my memory in that weapon store. If there was, I should have bought them, but I don't think there was. Bronze tier chocolate bars, they're 30 health, but I have 19 gold. I'm gonna go to JJ. He's not a good shop, but he's better than no shop.
Sometimes I sell stuff.
And that's very awkward. These items are just not really useful for me at all. There's some tiny argument to a plasma grenade, but I personally just don't like plasma grenade even in drill builds. 9 seconds is an eternity. The best drill builds start when combat starts. They don't wait 9 seconds for a plasma grenade to go off. So I don't believe in any of these items that I have the money to roll. That's not bad. I'm not burning right now, but Microdave is at least getting charged by the fast items to the right of the core, which is then in turn charging the core quickly. 6 burn is 21 damage if it doesn't proliferate. Anytime I say proliferate, I mean stack up. It's not just hitting for 6, and then every time you add it 6 more, it's gonna hit for 6 burn, deal a total of 21 damage, and then reset until the next time you apply it, right? And for anyone who wants to know the quick math on how to figure out what burn something does, you do max burn damage, which is just the amount on the card, plus minimum burn damage, that'll be the last tick. You divide it by 2 to get the average burn damage, and then you multiply it by the number of burn ticks, which again, if it's not stacking up, it's just gonna be the max burn damage, the thing shown on the card. That'll be 21. And you can easily verify that that is the correct way by doing it the hard way of just adding all the numbers up. At 6, it's not too hard to just add 1 through 6. However, as burn numbers get higher, it's easier to use the other calculation method. Anyway, like I was saying, I'll buy this. I'm also gonna buy the thrusters. These are incredible with pyrocarbon down the line. They're fine with drill, like having them. We will not be buying the fuel rod. This card is atrocious. Please buff it. We have a pip. Let's see what bronze skill we're getting. This is fairly impactful. Hey, it's the fiery skill I was looking for a second ago. I think I just take fiery here and play a burn build with a random weaponized core. I mean, the weaponized core is so bad at that point that I'm better off just playing drill, aren't I? But like, yeah, this charges the drill, that charges the drill twice, this charges the drill, they're both charging the micro Dave. Like, if I had more board space, I wouldn't be playing drill here, but I don't think I need more board space. And I'm definitely taking fiery with the amount of burn cards that I have.
I spent half my life.
For our next hour, we have small round weapon items, free upgrade, and Kina. Kina can sell you a metronome, but early on day 2, silver items are not likely. And metronome really is the only non-weapon item I'm super concerned about because it is so tremendously instrumental to power drill builds. I think I'm actually happy to go B1, B2 here and upgrade my micro Dave. It's not huge, but I think it's the difference in a little bit of burn proliferation and a tremendous amount of burn proliferation. Like, I think that 2 burn is really substantial. I think we stack burn effectively now. And it feels so weird using the drill here, but like, it just deals 2.5 times the damage of the core, and the core is not scaling anything. Well, what if it's actually micro Dave core, right? These are small items. 20 damage matters less than 10 burn. All right, it's micro Dave core. I think this is actually the optimal board. Now, talking about fights, this is really a non-decision. I'm clicking Rose Scrapper instantly because I kill it and I need the experience, because I'm still hoping to get an experience event on the last 2 hours of the day. Before we talk about any specific fight, let's cover the specifics of how fights work. There's always 3 fights progressing in rarity. The leftmost is worth the least gold, least experience. The middle one is the same experience as the leftmost, but with more gold. And the right one is worth the most experience and at least 3 experience, as well as the most gold. Now, down the line, I'll talk about evaluating whether or not a certain enemy is worth clicking on based on the odds of getting a drop, but there is nothing Crab or Covetous Thief have that I even want in the first place. So this is a simple decision that happens often where you say, I don't need anything from Crab, I don't need anything from Thief, therefore, I beat the rightmost fight and it gives the most baseline rewards, I click Rogue Scrapper. It's exceptionally important today because I need to get 2 bonus experience if I want to level up before the day 2 fight. And now we can take a look and see, is Micro Dave Core working out for us? I wasn't planning on dropping Weapon I Score for Micro Dave at the start of this, but it seems to be working pretty damn well. And I will mention that Burn early is just incredibly strong. Same with Poison and Regen, but typically Burn is like, because it falls off, it's harder to stack up than a Regen item like Hot Stones or a Poison item like Catfish. With a skill like this Fiery, you can get it to stack up tremendously and be so much more powerful than pretty much any other mechanic in the game. And I should say that Rust is a uniquely powerful skill and very, very good. I think I've mentioned this in multiple Overexplained videos now, but I'll say it again. Rust is start a fight slow. This is just already good. And any build that slows them down on one item by 3 seconds, great. Against a one weapon build, the only thing they're doing, the one item they have is 3 seconds delayed. That's incredible. And then it opens up the option to cascade other skills off of it at start of combat. You can get Creeping Chill when you slow the first time freeze. So now you have start of combat freeze. Then you can get Invigorating Cold when you freeze the first time, haste your items. So now you have start of combat haste. And then you can get another start of combat freeze with Quick Freeze. When you haste the first time, freeze. So Rust is just strong as a baseline, great in certain matchups, and then also opens up a lot of other start of combat shenanigans. I'm very glad to see that. Alright, for our next hour, we have Small Shield item. This is basically an economy choice. I have 15 gold. No thank you. It's also probably 1 gold, so hell no. There's Middle. Middle can sell an upgrade to my Power Drill, but I don't want that until I find an upgrade hammer. More on that later. I promise we're going to try to dupe something successfully one day, but not right now. And lastly, we have Mountain Pass. Mountain Pass is a very, very good event. It has 4 options, all of them great. One is gain 2 gold and 1 XP. One is gain 5 gold. One is risky, which I'll talk about more in a second, and one is gain 2 income. 2 income is very clickable. It's day 2, so it's clickable right now, even though I've won. If you're at 0 wins, the whole game is in front of you. 2 income's still good. I don't need to click this, and I desperately need 1 experience. Risky is an interesting thing. Risky's value depends on how likely you are to beat every given fight on the current day and the next day. It can give you any fight on your day, any fight on the next day. It can give you 1 experience, and it can give you a random item. Now, right now, I should beat, I think, every single fight on day 2 and 3, so if this gives me a fight, I level up. If it gives me 1 experience, I level up. But if it gives me an item, I don't level up, and this is guaranteed level up. So this is a risk-reward thing, and my answer is, this is a lot of burn. I have 5 regen. I might win the fight even if I don't level up, the PvP fight I mean. So I'm gonna take this, because the only way it punishes me is if I not just miss the fight, but also get the item reward instead. And we murder Coconut Crab. So here we're getting additional experience, we're getting 3 less gold, or no, we're getting the same gold, and we're also getting an item reward. Hard Shell is by far the best. This is just a great skill. It scales very, very well into the late game. And then of these 2 items, they're both worth 2 gold. You just really don't want to get a coconut because in our run, we're so wealthy, we would be fine with 30 health and 0 gold. But in most runs, this gives you the least economy and sucks. Hard Shell is massive. This run's going to the moon very quickly. Now, at this point, I think I move them over behind the core to scale them up. I don't think it makes sense to run Drill here. Our options are gain 2 gold, which is worse than gain 2 gold and a bronze loot item. And bronze loot item is pretty much always the one that I take over same tier random item. Generally speaking, if you take a random item of a tier, it's going to be worth less than a random item, loot item of that tier, plus 2 gold. Additionally, if you get a third option that's like a random friend option, I will pretty much always, again, take the loot tier item. I just view that as the same thing. It's just an economy decision, really. This gives me a little bit of random extra value from the loot item. It is good, it matters, but it's not being relied upon. It's just a better economy option than this. I only ever click the blank tier item if I need to fill out my board, which my board is filled, not a problem. And here, this is just not actually giving much gold, so obviously you click the one that comes with the loot item. And ours is Gland. I will happily take another point of regen. We have shield item plus 4 gold, but we're already sitting at 19 gold, and curio. Makes it a pretty easy curio, and there are some big hits for us. Shadowed Cloak and Salamander Pup were the 2 biggest hits This is a very good curio. So that thing I said about not running the drill, it is actually a lie. We're running the drill. Because now I have the ability to haste the drill every time it goes off. I will say though, that's wrong. I should haste the lighter instead. 1, this is going to be scaling burn faster. 2, this is going to be triggering microdave faster, scaling burn faster again. And 3, most importantly, the drill's nowhere near infinite. Once the drill is basically going off every time the drill goes off, or shortly thereafter due to stacking cooldowns, we'll talk more about drill cooldowns in a bit, then you want the drill on the click. But right now, I'm 100% sure that I will get more haste activations from the lighter than from the power drill. Also, we have a salamander pup here, which is just +3 burn for 2 gold. It's absolutely insane. The real question is, what do I put it on? Obviously not the thrusters. You might think microdave's the best burn item, we put it there. You also might think the lighter's the best burn item, we put it there because it has the shadow cloak haste right now. My issue with both the lighter and microdave is I feel like neither are going to be on our board after day 8. They're both going to get cut at some point. Microdave is too big for one status ailment. I'll be cutting a bunch of the support for it. Likewise, the lighter is just 1 burn. It's much worse than a soldering iron. So it puts me in a really awkward spot where, like, theoretically, the right play for day 8 is you hold Salamander Pup until you find soldering iron with a friend tool to put next to it. But that makes me a lot weaker right now. And it's very possible that we do just go Diamond Victory with the lighter still on board. And this is by far the best item on the board currently. So I am going to buff the lighter. This might make me weaker later. But again, I'm angling for like infinite double drill later. So later we should be good. I just need to get my wins today. And I will mention, winning early is invaluable. Even though I'm comfortable trying to win on like days 11 to 14 on Dooley, maybe not 15, 16, but still in the late game on Dooley, every win you get in the early game is a win you don't have to gamble on in day 14. Builds can scale so aggressively that no one should ever feel comfortable before they see what their build looks like having to win on day 14. A win in the early game is just an avoided late game fight, and that's very valuable. In any run where you died on day 15 at 9 wins, the day 15 fight probably wasn't the problem. It was probably the day 2 fight where you could have been a little bit stronger but you played greedily that actually cost you the 10 win run. And I am going to sell this gland as well. 1 regen is just good enough. I don't really mind spending that gold. Now, a 4 gold roll is fairly expensive. I'm not made of money. Like, I am wealthy right now, but I could burn through it very quickly. Feather and wing are great. Normally, if I were playing a build that had room for a knee brace, I would roll. Knee brace is very, very good. I don't have room for a knee brace, so I'm not going to roll here. I'm going to save my gold. There's a lot of stuff I'm still looking to buy. I don't really value these 2 slots. I don't have a way to fill the other 2 slots. And I feel incredibly strong for day 2. I am very rarely more powerful than this, especially as Dooley on day 2. He has plus shield with duct tape. Not a fan of that. Restorative matchbox and a fast board. Now, thankfully, he doesn't have any regen, and I have the drill to beat through a lot of his duct tape, but duct tape next to matchbox is terrifying. My saving grace in this matchup is that he has a knee brace and hasn't leveled, so he's down 3 item slots. If this matchbox had more items charging it, I would just lose. I might still lose. Restorative's a very good opening end chance. No, we're okay. I would also like to thank Hard Shell for making it go from a little bit sketchy to why am I worrying? Very good skill. And getting your first 2 wins on an income start feels incredible. You took the greedy early game option and you still are up 2-0. That feels fantastic. Here we have small shield items, which is again, bad economy option, chocolate bars, which is a little bit of health, not terrible, and Ayla for weapons. Now, if I had an upgrade hammer, I'd be going to Ayla. The upgrade hammer has not graced my run. So honestly, I'm really not sure what I'm looking for at Ayla. Rocket launcher, it would be a great final item to put on the board. But I mean, I already have Uzi Arc Blaster just to deal a bit of damage and scale microdave. Rocket launcher's a lot better. I'm okay with that. I'm going to go Ayla, and if I get a drill upgrade, I'm actually going to take it. It makes me meaningfully stronger right now. It's also a thing where, do I want that? It's upgrading an item that's about to hit my board, right? So yeah. It's also a thing where you don't have to commit to duping a bronze power drill. You can use your level 7 upgrade to upgrade an upgrade hammer to gold and then dupe a silver power drill. And again, I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense yet. It will later. I'm just trying not to talk about duping too much until I can visually demonstrate it. But it's an important part of my decision making that I'm trying to do it. Yo, that's a rough set of options. Like, I don't have anything to sell at Volpack. I've just gotten skills for all my fights. I don't have any random items floating that I regret floating. So Volpack's not buying anything. He's a 4 gold reroll at JJ, basically, which isn't a good shop in the first place. Gumballs are way out of my price range. Small weapon's not good, but I think it's better than going Volpack here, so... I can look at the first page. Do I think 1 to 2 gold, probably 1 gold, is worth more? No, I have 17 gold. Because I have 17 gold, I'm gonna... Dude, thanks. Okay. He doesn't filter at all. And it's only day 3. Silver items are not, like, guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination. That is a huge hit. So I'll say this. Shops are generally better when you don't have a build established yet. The more your board is locked in, the less valuable shops are because the fewer hits there are. Here, I came here because I was expecting rocket launcher. I wasn't tunneled on drill trying to get a metronome. There were just enough things that could improve my board that the shop was worth it. I think that's just an easy metronome here as well. The lighter's faster and it's not full haste uptime. It's that, actually. And then this will come down between the drill and microdave, and I'll throw in Uzi, I guess, to charge microdave. I don't know, the Arc Blaster deals 38 more damage. Probably Arc Blaster anyway. In which case, I don't need this Uzi. I can sell it for 1 extra gold. Anyway, that's better than I could ever have hoped this shop would be. Let's go. I really have no reason to care about Tempest Flame Dancer. There will never be room for a Fiery Cutlass on our board. We don't need anything from Rose Scrapper. You just saw what they have. So we go highest experience Scout Trooper automatically. And we crushed this fight with the Metronome. Our damage output's ridiculous. We have no defenses, but we have 6 regen and hard shell, which is actually great defenses. Like, it's not obvious that we have defenses, but we do. Also, the drill, the metronome, the amount of burn this does, it's all just kind of wild for day 3.
Hey, allow it.
Very happy with the state of the build for now. Bolas is not something I'm happy with. That is by far one of the weakest hits. Did I say one of the weakest hits? I mean, objectively the worst thing he could drop. Even Gunner, which is worth no gold, can open up new items later. Everything else is either worth more gold or 5% crit chance. Literally the worst possible drop. But hey, I got 2 monster skills. Who am I to bitch? Now, upgraded bronze tier item is interesting because I can put it on Shadowed Cloak, which makes it much, much better and possibly good enough that Power Drill is worth scaling. Down the line, I would appreciate that. Pip is selling bronze tier skills. There are some crazy valuable skills that go onto a build for Power Drill. Things like Hotspots, the Poison Burn skill, and Grease Fire. All of those are incredible, and all of those don't exist at bronze. However, any burn skill is good. Any weapon skill is good. I like upgrading the Shadowed Cloak. I really do. But if I dupe a drill, I won't have room for it anyway. I think there's enough hits, and I think this is minor enough because I'm not going to put the drill on it yet. It's still better on the lighter. Is it still better on the lighter? Because I have the metronome and I have the relatively fast microdave. Got this damage as well. It's very close to being worth upgrading Shadowed Cloak. It's very, very close. However, if I do that and I find a B1, B2, I won't even have a good upgrade target. So part of the decision making is that I want to preserve value on potential future events. Part of it's that I'm not sure this can make it onto a final board, even if I don't dupe drill, but especially if I do dupe drill. So I am going to go Pip here, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go Pip here. There's just enough good skills. That's fine by me. Right-handed's great. That's 20 damage and what will someday be the core of the build.
Maybe I'm getting better at this.
We have 1 income and small and large items. And again, there's not really any small and large item I need. And now that I have metronome, this is a great board for like the next 6 days. It's just good enough. Income's fine. I'm good on money. So it's time to talk about how important experience is. Again, may as well talk about it while I'm doing it. See fight, click fight, live by it. Sometimes you get robbed because that's just how Mountain Pass is. However, experience is absolutely invaluable. That is a lot of additional value if I got the experience there to help push me towards crazy thresholds later down the line. Here we have 400 shield, which almost guarantees a win in the PvP fight. We have Curio, which honestly, having gotten the Shadowed Cloak, I'm kind of just looking for Salamander Pup at this point, or B1, B2. And frankly, just going B1, B2 for the guaranteed upgrade on Shadowed Cloak, like I said, this is why I went for the skill, because now B1, B2 is actually a good event and can upgrade the cloak. I still have no lost crate though. The fact I haven't found an upgrade hammer yet is a little bit alarming. It means I'm probably going to be trying to upgrade the drill the hard way to silver, and then use my level 7 upgrade on a hammer ideally. We'll see how the dupe works out. Maybe we just don't even end up with a dupe, and we're ride or die with a single bronze drill, and that's perfectly fine too. Missiles is a pretty big miss. At least it's worth 4 gold, but it's kind of useless when you've dropped your core already on day 3.
I'm a bit of a legend on.
Maybe I should have switched it back to my lighter. I wasn't convinced this was the way to go. Restorative lighter, gold life preserver. I don't know how much damage we have, but it needs to be a fucking lot to kill this man. That silver fiery is also doing a lot of work. It looks like we just have enough damage. It looks like we're fine. Yeah. Not even close, actually. And again, like, I think it wasn't close before hard shell. With hard shell, it's just a walkover. Very nice. I'm actually surprised that was a clean win, but we're a level up on him. The extra board slots mattered a lot. We have notably more skills than him. Like, he's down, like, we just got right-handed. That's also from the level up, the additional health. All of that difference was because we're ahead on experience compared to that man. We have gain of 2 income at JJ or Gumballs. I know I'm fabulously wealthy, but JJ doesn't filter at all. But I might just need to upgrade the drill the hard way as well. It's not day 5 either, so we can't stock a fiber optics, which is a critically important gold item. I don't know, I've got one pretty bad item still on my board. The Arc Blaster's not doing a lot, man. If I weren't so insanely wealthy, I'd be going to invest in yourself, but I am, so I'm gonna go to JJ. There are items I can get that improve my board. I don't think it's worth 4 gold to get more damage here. I'm trying to cut that item. Kim Snail never really fits on the board, unfortunately, so that's going to be a roll. Don't really see how I can make use of any of that. So, wish I'd taken 2 income over losing 2 gold, but that's how shops go, and it's why the more locked in your board gets, the worse shops become. I can get plus 1 gold by going to Volpack. Maybe he'll be awesome again. I can get a random tool. Or I can go to the docks. Docks are an economy event. I'm great on economy. Get a tool is basically an economy event. They can give me a drill. Can also give me like 19 other items because it can give me neutral tools. So I think I just go to Volpack here. And going over to howbazaar.gg, you should be using this all the time to inform your decisions in your own runs. We can go to Dooley, bronze and silver items, tools. He's got 8 hits. And we can change that Dooley to common. There are 5 hits. That's 13 options, 1 in 13 to upgrade the drill. Otherwise, it's just a bad economy event. And I've already got a bad economy event that also is potentially more decisions to make. Well, that's not helpful. Do I want to spend 4 gold to roll? Am I that wealthy? It's a pretty bad shot, but honestly, yes, I have the money for it. And hey, it paid off automatically. Follow-up question, do I want to buy a Chris Army knife? Well, soldering iron's pretty great with a metronome, a shouted cloak, a drill, a microdave, and fiery. So yeah, I would like to enable soldering iron. That sounds like it's good to have a Chris Army knife in the back pocket. Flame Juggler, I think I beat. There's nothing I care about on Dervish and Bloody Freighter. These can be pretty good for a weapon Vanessa, not so much for us. So we want to get the plus gold, plus experience from taking the rightmost fight on Flame Juggler. He deals a ton of starting burn. You need good defenses to beat him. My defenses can be summarized as I have hard shell. But shield is very, very good. My damage output is solid. Would I want to run Chris Army Knife over the self-burn? Yeah, fucking probably. I want to rearrange my board so that Chris Army Knife can get the benefit of the metronome and go off more often. Shield halves damage from burn ticks, so having this being going off as fast as possible seems like the thing to do. Self-burning does not seem like the thing to do. And I think with those changes, I do comfortably beat a Flame Juggler. Egg on my face if I'm wrong, but hard shell and 6 regen is a lot. And then we get a bunch of ticks every 3 seconds off of the nearly permanently hasted. Oh, it's nowhere near permanently hasted, but still, every 4.5 seconds or so, we half a burn tick with a Chris Army Knife. It's not nothing. Yeah, we're fine. We out DPS this pretty easily with the defenses we have. Not pretty easily, but hey, I had a 1.5 seconds left. And I'm gonna be honest with you, in my experience, 2 seconds is an eternity in a burn mirror. Cinders is great. You usually get Magma Core there, so I'm happy to get anything that has value. We check out Silver Tier skills, and I see they know what kind of build I'm playing. So down the line, this is a weird choice where it doesn't look like there's a difference between leftmost and rightmost, just arrange your board how you want. Down the line, a drill might have to be my leftmost item. I might have to put a metronome next to it, and one of those items might be a burn item. I would be happy to enchant either the drill or metronome with fiery. Obviously, I'd prefer the drill, but it's not really entirely up to me with random enchants and all that. And I would prefer that either of those items get it because they will be the fastest burn items I have. So I actually want leftmost burn item here. And now that that's happened, let's fix our board. Lighter's our fastest hit. Chris Army Knife gets out again. And unfortunately, we find ourselves in this situation where it's like, oh, I can't lower the cooldown because I need to have it this way. Because I have to have the drill to the right of the cloak, I need to have the thrusters right of the drill. And then, like, I could do this, but it's probably worse than just buffing up the microdave, especially because I lose the handed bonus, right? So this isn't a great item. These last two slots are kind of weak, but it's still probably right. And I'm going to take Cinders here on the lighter. At this point, we're probably ride or die with it. Our crypto's at 5. We sell those. We have small weapon, Andy, and the motto I live by, see fight, click fight. Can Andy have good things? Sure, I wouldn't mind a metronome upgrade. The haste does matter right now. But see fight, click fight. And this is why. We're plus 2 experience now compared to going to a shop, which would cost me gold instead of giving me 2 experience, 2 gold, and something yet to be determined what the other thing will be. Here, I wouldn't mind getting a gunpowder. It's just very valuable in certain items down the line. I wouldn't mind getting all talk because, you know, if your drill build is instant and infinite, then that's just 25 damage on the drill. That's probably 2 gold. I can't really see myself using that. Drill builds basically need every item to deal status ailments, and that one doesn't. For our next hour, we have Lost and Found, small non-weapon item, reroll, and Kev. I am actually going to take reroll here. Kev's not a great shop. He's not going to sell me a power drill. He's not going to sell me anything on my board. He can sell enchanted items, but shield enchants are not what power drill wants anyway, so I will be taking the reroll here. By far, the biggest hits are Orion to upgrade my drill, or, what's it called? Lost Crate to upgrade my drill. Either way. Chocolate bars is not good enough. I have 27 gold. I can afford to roll this a couple of times. Tinker's a very bad shop for me. Volpack is not a great shop for me, but I probably have to take it on this roll or the next one. Rolling off of Volpack, like I'm basically committing to the next one, but he's just not a good shop. And I'm not going to spend 4 gold to roll off Kina. That's just burning money at some point. Now, I will roll on Kina, but nothing is going to happen here, I think. Yeah, that's about right. Would I want a Copper Ed just because it deals status ailments? It's shield. That does matter in some matchups. Like, shielding at 7 seconds can be mitigating pretty big burn chunks. The Arc Blaster's damage is just pretty damn irrelevant. I have no tech items charging it. I have 1, it barely counts. I think Copper Ed charging the drill is... well, it's 1/5 of 70, right? So I can see that it does less damage, but it also does 10 shield, 2 poison. I don't know. It's still pretty much nothing. I don't think it's worth 4 gold. There's an argument that I should have taken memory card just to put it in during a PvE fight. Probably should have. And there is nothing to rearrange on our board. This is the best board we've got. However, 13 burn, metronome delighter's pretty damn good. I'm feeling comfortable. However, legend Dooleys in the early game are always terrifying. You expect them to have cooked up some insane shit like what I'm playing. Is this blast doors? Well, I'm probably dead then. That's not fair. 19 burn rocket launcher, very normal value, and I will just lose to blast doors. I probably would have lost to the 19 burn rocket launcher because this man doesn't know how to chill the fuck out. Dude, what an insane high roll. I don't quite know why there's a poison skill in his build. That seems like an egregious mistake considering what I'm looking at, but aside from that, it turns out if you're all in on a rocket launcher, hitting right-handed, left-handed, strength, final flame, and starting skill fire, he's pretty fucking good. I thought I was going to lose in a close mirror to blast doors because drill burn is literally hard countered by blast doors. It's designed to beat my build. However, it doesn't much matter. Most items that take 7 seconds to go off don't deal 200 damage and 60 burn. It seems pretty good, you know? Perfectly average day 4 rocket launcher right there. What the actual hell was that? Anyway, gain 5 gold, work at the docks, go to middle. Gotta be go to middle. We're closing out the window on power drill. We're obviously not duping it because Lost Crate doesn't exist in this run. So we would like to get it to silver before the window is completely closed. This was a bad shot, but it's worth looking at DJ Robot here as a potential pivot out of drill. I think my build's fucking insane and beats most things on day 5. Like, the fact I got steamrolled in day 4 does not make me lose confidence in this build at all. DJ Robot is a pivot any Dooley build can always use, though, especially if you haven't gotten your level 7, or not your level 7, your level 10 enchant, because you can pick up a DJ Robot, enchant it, and then upgrade it to get the enchanted little guys.
know if I
It might be better right now. Because what I would do is I would just like... I don't quite have as much room as I would like to, is the problem. But I can use DJ Robot. I can toss this. Toss that. Like, they're bad items. I don't care about them. What I can do is I can run like this, use DJ Robot. He takes up 5 slots. I have 1 more slot. Put this between DJ Robot and Micro Dave. No, I can't put thrusters where I'd want to because of the adjacency rules on these little guys. I think DJ Robot to open up a potential pivot is probably the play. No, that's fucking crazy. That can't be right. That cannot be right. I refuse to believe. And I've obviously made my build worse by thrustering a Chris Army knife instead of thrustering a 40 damage weapon. But, I wanted to get a better look at how my build would actually function if I tried to pivot into DJ Robot, because he's always just alright. If you buy a second one once he's enchanted, he's crazy. And right now, even though we're still strong, I sort of see the writing on the walls just a little bit, with only having 1 bronze drill, but I also have the Shouted Cloak and the Metronome, so it's a lot better than your average bronze drill. I kind of really want to float this guy, but there's no enchant I would give to him is the problem. Fiery or Toxic, I just put it on the drill. Obsidian, it's not even that good on DJ Robot. Any status ailments, not that good on DJ Robot. And I'd have to enchant him and then gamble on finding the follow-up upgrade. It's not right. My build's too good to justify spending 8 gold in a panic pivot that I do not need to take. Borrow is still showing up on day 5, and it is still horrible. Chocolate Bars is not great. That leaves us with a Curio, but hey, Salamander Puff is great, so I'm not too upset about it. Now, I have haste items, and that makes Rocket Boots kind of crazy. I love that. This is essentially upgrading my Metronome. I don't need to upgrade the Shouted Cloak. It's probably already full hasting the drill. If not, it's very close. But now these 2 items are full hasted. I would love to pick up a slow item and make use of this, but I currently don't have one. I can't reasonably float it for nearly 5 levels until I get an enchant in case my enchant is heavy, even though I would like to. Can I? I don't have anything in my stash right now. I might be able to reasonably float this. I'm going to try. And I also care a lot about base damage on drill. I'm willing to spend 3 gold buying and selling both of these for, what is it, plus 8 base damage? That's very substantial. And I'm wealthy enough to float the barricade, buy and sell the gland. Don't need to sell them immediately, but I will be selling them, at least the gland, relatively soon. The question is, do I roll? I haven't seen feather or wing. I'll roll here. Sadly, they killed Truffle Scouting with this patch. Another 5 damage is great. A feather is great. Before we sell that, we move this out so that it's not lowering any cooldowns. Get another 5 damage plus 13 damage on the drill at this shop is very, very good. And I don't think I care about the rest of this in any capacity, so I'll save my gold and be on my way. We can take 6 gold or 2 gold and a silver tier loot item. So essentially I'm paying 2 gold for a silver tier loot item. I think the odds are good that silver tier loot item is actually helpful for me. I think most of the loot items are hits. I'm willing to spend 2 gold on a random one at this point in time. And again, partly just because I'm wealthy. Gland's not what I'm looking for, but hey, 2 regens, nothing to turn your nose up at. It's still relatively meaningful values, and we crush Mod Squad, so we take Mod Squad here. There was nothing on those other fights we really care about that much. Beautiful Friendship is never going to matter for us. The Power Drill is not a friend, and our friends will never be fast enough to scale it meaningfully. We might take it just as we have a moderately fast Micro Dave, and we're all in on the drill right now for our ability to punch through shields. It's not great. My Grandmaster is so good that it can't really make the Grandmaster bad, and I don't have to think about it because we're going to get the gold crypto anyway. Which is arguably the best drop there since it's just 1,000,000 gold. Looks like we're getting that hammer after all. Showed up pretty late there. I will take my silver tier upgrade hammer. I will not be using it until the end of day 6 because Orion is so good at finding specifically what I need. Oh, let's talk about gold crypto. I believe at silver tier and above, crypto is bugged. I've never seen it bug out on bronze, but at every higher tier, I've seen it go above its alleged max value. I've seen silver go to 11, I've seen gold go to 23, and I haven't had diamond crypto in a while, so I don't remember what the highest I've seen there is. But because this goes up well above 20, I will not be selling my gold crypto for under 19. If I were super broke, I might be willing to sell it for like 15 or above, but I'm not broke at all, so I can wait until this gets to very high values. Now, we have 6 regen, not really interested. Nufu, I don't have that kind of money, to be honest. Like, I know I have gold crypto and I'm currently wealthy, but I will instantly be broke if I go here. I'm happy to go to Ayla, and like, if I find a rocket launcher, put the rocket launcher where the drill is and drop these 2 items. If I find a drill, upgrade the drill. Or sorry, dupe the drill. This is one of the last chances to dupe a drill. Those are not helpful. And those are neither rocket launcher nor power drill, which is what I expected, but still disappointing.
But bare hands are
Had to take the shot, the window for duping a drill, at least easily. Hey, what I was saying is the window for duping the drill is rapidly closing. It's going to take a lot more work to do it shortly. As I said, gold crypto can go to 23 value. I will be selling it at 23 value. I will also sell both of these clans for 3 regen in the fight. And these should be both full haste uptime now, so it's very clearly Shadowed Cloak is best here. Chris Army Knife's a bit of a shit item on this board, to be honest, but there's nothing to be done about it. Thruster's also not doing a whole lot either. Maybe I should have considered buying like that Uzi or whatever it was I just saw. I think there was an Uzi in that shop. Just because it's so much better than Chris for charging Microdave. It's still bad though. It's just a waste of gold in most cases. So this guy has 300 more health than me. He's found Hotspot and Conflagration on his Ignition Core. I'm pretty sure I'm dead. I don't think my drill is fast enough to overcome the difference in burn. But I have shield skill. I think I actually won that without shield skill based on how much health I have left. The drill build is stronger than I gave it credit for. I just saw Conflag at gold and assumed he could do more than he did. 33 burn on his Conflag Ignition Core lighter, 65 on mine. That is haste difference. It's also Salamander Pup difference. There's a pretty big difference in the base values of our lighters. My Microdave is better than his as well. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised at just how much value the haste gave my board compared to his. And the drill did make up the gap. We got there. I was just very worried because of the 300 health difference. That's a pretty damn big gap. I don't know if that's a lot of chocolate bars or if he had like a knee brace earlier or what. All right, this is an interesting one. We have haste item, just toss that one out. It's a bad economy option, basically. We have Mountain Pass, C fight, click fight. 99 times out of 100, you can just turn your brain off and click the fight, even a potential fight like Mountain Pass. However, it's against Orion. On day 6, bronze items can show up. Orion filters down to a very small pool of items, so even though bronze items are rare, it's still decently likely that he has a power drill. And if I get the power drill, I dupe the power drill with Metronome and Shadowed Cloak already available. I would do that every single time. It's rare that I skip a fight for a shop. It has to be an incredibly good shop. But this Orion, this is one of the best possible shops. If I already had Gold Hammer, Silver Power Drill, I wouldn't even be discussing it. I'd have already clicked it. But here, there's a very real chance because the Power Drill's only at bronze and day 6 is the last day bronze items show up and they're much rarer. Very real chance I'm just giving up a fight and missing the drill. But I think the chance of hitting the drill is worth it. We still take a soldering gun. We take those. And then we roll and we hope and we miss. And the reason I knew we missed instantly, by the way, is because the arrows would show up here immediately. Also, before they flip, you can see the color of the indicator on the top before it gets a number. So I knew there were no damage mediums as well. However, the build does still get better. What we do is we switch the Metronome over to haste our 2 smaller burn items, which is going to make Microdave faster in a roundabout way and get the soldering gun going off much more frequently. Now, I can upgrade Chris Army Knife. I've got 40 gold, so sure. If I were not so fabulously wealthy, I probably wouldn't waste my gold. It's a damn shame to have to upgrade that, though. And now we're in an awkward spot because B1, B2 isn't really showing up much anymore. Upgrade hammers aren't really showing up anymore because the Lost Crate kind of falls off. I'm pretty sure these events are supposed to stop showing up on day 6. Which means if I upgrade the upgrade hammer, I'm probably not finding a second power drill. But if I upgrade the power drill, I'm not duping the upgrade hammer. No matter what I do, it's a loss. It's always painful. The way I see it is upgrading the power drill to gold is the way to go here. It's plus 50 damage on the damn thing. I can use the silver upgrade hammer, go straight to gold. It's really sad that I didn't get the dupe, but plus 50 damage on a core item is better than what a skill is going to give me. So while I really wanted to find a way to dupe the drill without having found a second Lost Crate at any point during the run to get a second hammer to preserve the option of a dupe, just massively increasing my current damage output seems like the way to go. We have small non-weapon items, Docs and Andy. It's day 6. Andy can sell fiber optics. We love those. And I don't see a reason to take economy with 34 gold, so let's go take our low chances. Ice Cork Freeze is a great item. That's silver, not so much. But we buy this, we hold it, we hope that it goes up to much higher tiers down the line. And as good as battery can be, you saw that rocket launcher build a day ago. It's not really ever going to fit on the board with a drill build, unfortunately. Now, an interesting question is there a way to arrange the board where I get my handed bonus without Chris Army Knife fucking it up? I don't really see a way to arrange my board where the metronome is on the drill. I am certain we kill the Infernal right now, so I'm going to do the recap here on Infernal and see how the build's lining up. I think we kill Infernal without even having the hard shell skill. The hard shell skill just seals it for me. Our defenses aren't great, but our offenses are genuinely insane. Gaining 50 damage on the drill is not minor. Additionally, this soldering gun is not minor either. It's a 3x multicast, permanently hasted, a 9 burn item. Would have been a little bit close without hard shell, I will admit. Diamond Cinders are fantastic, we take those. Now, looking at this build, 7 triggers here, which means it would have triggered the metronome 7 times and gotten an 8th trigger if it had gone off. It is faster than any other item. The issue is that it loses 20 damage if I move Chris Army Knife next to the metronome, or sorry, on the other side. So, oh, it's very awkward. I'm not sure what the play is here. I think this is the best arrangement with my board currently, and I'm very happy to put this on a soldering gun. That's, like, aside from getting a fiery enchant on the drill itself or on the metronome, that is by far the best thing I can put a Diamond Cinders on. So the build was great, it just got better, but I'm just not sure how to get the metronome without losing 20 damage. Maybe the answer is to stop caring about 20 damage. Anyway, I'll get back to that thought later once we're at the PvP fight and have to figure it out. For now, we might get something new at a shop that changes the way we do the math. Small weapon item, I don't really care about economy events. I have tons of money, so I could go gumballs. But frankly, I don't know that I have gumball money, and gumballs are not that much power. I'm gonna go middle. There are some medium items that can meaningfully change the build. Those are not it. And I would always be happy with the drill upgrade. Now, Thermal Lance is something I've thought of as bad on a drill build for what I feel are fairly obvious reasons. But if you had an infinite drill, then it would be infinitely hasting the Thermal Lance for crazy amounts of burn, right? So, it's not obviously bad. It does have some potential. I think in the end game, I care about being faster and not ramping up, and I think ramping up right now is a downgrade because I'm crazy fast for the day. I'm gonna leave that there. If it had been gold, maybe I'd made a different decision, but at silver, it takes way too long to start doing anything. Here, chocolate bars are fairly minor health gain, a non-weapon item is very minor economy. I have the gold that if I wanted to, I would have to sell something due to the core taking up space in my stash, but I could go get 150 health out of chocolate bars, which is not minor. The only thing Ayla can do is sell me a upgrade on the drill, which on day 6, gold item's not even that likely, a lot of misses. I am gonna go here, I'm gonna toss missiles, and then make a painful choice. If I get a heavy enchant on anything, I hate selling the makeshift barricade. And the thrusters are going to be incredibly hard to position effectively with both Shadowed Cloak and Metronome, so I'm going to toss the thrusters over the Icy-Quarric Freezer. And I'm gonna take 10 premium chocolate bars. 150 health is just not a minor amount. Then for our skill, we have free skills, which can be good, but they're not incredible. We can get shield skills, which is pretty bad for our current build, or we go gold skills. Gold skills has a lot of hits. Grease Fire, Hotspot, and there's a skill that is when you burn poison and vice versa. All of those are massive, tremendous enablers for a drill build that tremendously outshine the potential for burn freeze off the freeze vendor. Rolling over 24% crit chance feels painful. This is 24% more drill. But my build's only like 50% drill right now. And frankly, critting 24% of the time is not like a huge deal to me. It's obviously good, it's better than nothing, but there are game-winning skills available. I can't not roll for them. Well, Shield Bash isn't nothing, but it's certainly not great. Shield crit chance is nothing. When you level up upgraded bronze tier item, it may as well be nothing. No, it doesn't gain slow value anymore, it's still nothing. I am gonna take Shield Bash here. It's not very good. I'm just willing to admit that, especially with Chris Army Knife making it worse. But, you know, we take the skill that does something over literally nothing. And frankly, I'm not convinced Shield Bash is even that much worse than 24% crit. We sell all of these, the health matters, it meaningfully increases our chance of staying alive, it scales up hard shell. 2-win Dooley, feel very comfortable against that. He has silver diamond fangs, no diamond items, 1,000,000 burn items, fiber optics. The only thing charging the core is the drill. I think this has been misassembled. I think he's doing drill build a little bit wrong. The issue here is that nothing is charging the core, so the core is slow, and Radiant Bomb Squad is slow. Like, they just don't trigger the effects enough for the drill to be fast. Like, let's compare how quickly our drills went off, because neither of us have any disruption. 6 to 3, right? Like, It's just a massive disparity in drill speed, even though he has fiber optics. And it's, I think, mostly due to core. It's not just core positioning. It's also cards like Charcoal and Bomb Squad that are just very slow. Bomb Squad is giving haste to other things, so I get it, but Charcoal is not the play. Anyway, happy to be 5-1 going into day 7. That is a perfectly acceptable win rate, especially with an income start. I can just take Cinders here. Obviously, Ayla can upgrade my power drill, but going to a store that is that narrow in scope isn't very good. The real reason you go to Ayla is to get an Obsidian enchanted item, and that's even more narrow in scope. Like, those are both such minor hits for the power drill. Gumballs are a lot of money when they're up against guaranteed free gold and burn value. Lowest possible roll, but I'll still take it. The soldering gun is just getting progressively more menacing as the run goes on. And get plus scrap for shield, doesn't matter at all. Docks for economy, don't need it. So we'll go middle here. It's not a very good middle, it's just the other options are worse. I wonder if docks for a tool is better than middle. Because very genuinely, there's not medium items I care about. It's just a power drill upgrade, and even still, that's just 25 gold. It's not a big deal. Oh, you know what? I should be hasting this lighter. I'm not certain on this, but I think the lighter is better as the haste recipient than the microdave. Even though microdave's getting charged a lot by the soldering gun, the haste converts into more item uses on the lighter than it does on the microdave. Like, the charging happens either way. I get more charging like this. I just think I've just had it wrong the whole time. Anyway, what I was saying is middle is such a bad shop for me that I'm going to take an economy event I really don't need for a random tool. Hey, Weatherglass. I think I've been here before and it was horrifically bad and it was bait. Is that right? Right now, it doesn't really do a lot. Like, we can get in another item, but it's a rather substantial cost by burn to put that in. Weatherglass with power drill sounds really good, but as I've mentioned a couple of times, I'm trying to make my build faster. Putting in a 7-second startup time item that I cannot accelerate is not really faster. So I think that's just 2 gold. Also, for our monster fight, we finally have a chance to talk about it. Chili Charles, up until now, we've just been clicking the rightmost enemy because that 3 experience is a lot more than 2 experience. But let's go over to howbazaar.gg so I can show you why Thug is worth fighting. Going over to day 7 fights, we have the Viper Tyrant. Really don't care about this guy at all. We have Chili Charles. He's not dropping anything that I care about. It's just the 3 experience that makes me want to go here. And Thug. Real quick, if you look at my experience, you can see I'm at 3 pips. If you're at 2 pips before your fight, you need a 3 experience fight to level up. If you are at less than 2 pips, you'll need like higher rarity diamond plus fights to level up. However, at 3 pips, literally any fight's gonna level you up. It doesn't matter which one you pick. So in this case, I'm not determining this fight based on whether or not I level up today, just the general value of one experience. Now, coming back to Thug, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things he can drop. Bonk is perhaps the best generic skill in the game. Increasing your enemy cooldowns by 1 second is massive, and if you can filter down at all, by which I mean remove his options from the pool, then he gets better. And unfortunately, I don't have strength, I don't have anything he has on my border and stash, so it is just a 1 in 9 to get Bonk from this guy. However, normally for most runs, I consider Bar of Gold a massive hit because it's 40 gold. I'm already fabulously wealthy, it's kind of still a miss for me. However, it's a 1 in 9. The way I evaluate this 1 in 9 for Bonk is essentially I compare what I lose for fighting Thug to what I get. I lose 1 experience, and 1/9 of the time I get a Bonk. Or, to phrase that differently, on average, to get a Bonk, I have to spend 9 experience over 9 runs. So the way I look at that decision is, to me, is Bonk worth 9 experience? If there was an event that says cancel out your next 9 experience, receive Bonk, would I click that? The answer is abso-fucking-lutely I would click that. Let's go get Bonk. This skill is actually that strong. This method of decision making I use might be wrong, because it basically almost always tells me that I should prioritize experience and not go take the chance for a run-winning item. However, experience is really good. Maybe that's how any evaluation system should tell you, as it always says, don't go get the thing, go get experience. But it does sometimes tell you it's worth getting, or worth going for. Hey, we got strength. It's the biggest bait, because you see the skill flip, your eyes light up, and then you realize, oh, it's the other one. It actually is good. It's plus 15 damage on the drill, I'll take it. But it's not what I wanted. 8 regen is not a big deal on day 7. Health pools are just outgrowing that. Chocolate bars can be good. I'm going to go Kina, though. The reason I'm going Kina is specifically for fiber optics. It's a very, very good item. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe plus 150 health is better than a small chance at fiber optics, and I have convinced myself immediately. Because really, none of these upgrades matter. They're just 1 burn upgrades. They're not likely to happen. If I'm going there just for fiber optics and I have to rearrange my board and make awkward cuts to make that happen at that, 150 health is currently a very relevant amount of health. Now, we have another economy option, still don't need it. We have JJ, doesn't filter at all, not that many items I really care about, and Finn's Big Bite. So we're gonna go to Finn because health is value. We can get shield for just Chris Army Knife, heal with nothing, or 5 regen. 5 regen might have fallen off a cliff by now, but it's still better than basically nothing. We also like the 100 health, that's the real reason we're here. And for our level up reward, we have 4 gold, that's nothing, so we'll be taking the loot item. And our loot item was more regen. I guess we're up to 16. Not really trying to push regen here, but oh well. It is day 7, we're level 9. That's above curve, but not by a lot. This guy's level 8. That's what you're usually expecting to see, is to be high in 8 on day 9. Or sorry, high in 8 on day 7, so that you can get to 10 on day 9. Why is your board missing things? Why do you have Fiery Rebirth and an empty board? What's happening? He's going to lose. We're gonna crush this man. I'm up nearly 1,000 base health on him, so that's pretty good. I'm just very confused. Maybe his other items were all aquatic items and he wanted to force the haste onto Obsidian Coral. I don't know. I'm not sure why this happened.
More plunder.
Anyway, Fiery Rebirth is a hell of a skill. Not good enough to make up for multiple missing items against the strong build, though. Which brings us to day 8. There's still one more chance for a crazy high roll enemy off Dragon, but otherwise it's looking like we're playing a sane and normal run. You never take relax before your scheduled fight, otherwise it just gets used in the PvE fight, not worth it. Day 9 might be the one exception to that, because there's like a 1 in X chance that you get Death Knight Reaper and it saves your life. Probably still wrong, but this is day 8, there's absolutely no argument. Chocolate bars are good, I have chocolate bar money. Tox Clocks, however, can sell enchanted haste and slow items, which is really, really important to me, because that's status ailments that charge the drill. And I haven't really talked about the drill specific mechanics yet. I was planning on doing a whole expose about it when I duped the drill, but considering we didn't dupe the drill, that got left on the wayside. So let's talk about duping drills. Let's go to the shop so that I can demonstrate this. I've committed to going here for possible enchants. Do I still have that thruster? No, damn shame. Pyrocarbon's a very good item. Might want to take this, but let's get back to the drill first. First of all, you can duplicate items, and the way that works is if you get to a shop and you see an item given to you by the shop, it can be of any tier determined by chance based on rarity and day number. However, if it's an item you have, that item can only spawn at the tier you have it, because when you get 2 items of the same tier, they combine and upgrade. However, if you get 2 items of a different tier, you just pick up the second item. That's why the game never presents you with an item you have at a different tier, normally. But you can use an upgrade hammer, go to a shop, it offers you a second bronze power drill, upgrade your first power drill to silver, and then buy the other bronze drill, and it will give you a second drill at a lower rarity. This allows you to, say, put the metronome between them, and they start looping each other really, really aggressively, and it's fucking crazy. It's so strong that it's an important part of playing Dooley is optimizing your chances for duping a power drill. But, you know, sometimes the run shows you 1 upgrade hammer, 1 power drill, and it's just not fated to be. It happens. No item can cast faster than 1 second, whether it's down to 1 second cooldown because you have a 100% cooldown reduction that goes to 1 second, or you get it to 1.8 seconds and you haste it, it still takes 1 second to cast. There's a separate mechanic though called the internal cooldown, where items can be charged and go faster than every second. They're not just raising the bar by the process of time, right? And when you charge an item, such as what Power Drill is doing, that follows the internal cooldown as well. Matchbox might be getting charged like 100 times by your board, but it only gets 1 second every 0.2 seconds as they funnel through on the internal cooldown. Power Drill's charge is not for charging it in general though, it's for each specific type of ailment that can charge it. So on the internal cooldown, you can get 1 haste charge, 1 slow charge, 1 freeze charge, 1 poison charge, 1 burn charge. So if you have 1,000,000 burn charges, that's just charging it 2 seconds every 0.2 seconds. If you had like 5 sources of haste and 5 sources of burn, that's much better, because then it's charging it 4 seconds every internal cooldown, as opposed to just the 2 seconds. You want to have a variety of ailments, and that's kind of why Pyrocarbon's very good. However, we're probably not going to be able to use Pyrocarbon, because sure, it turns big burn generators into haste generators, and it hastes your whole board, and it's very, very good. We have Shadowed Cloak and Metronome. We're probably going to be internal cooldown capped on haste no matter what down the line, so Pyrocarbon doesn't really matter. Additionally, we don't currently have a great way of making room for it and the self-burn items, so it's kind of bait. Bulldozer has nothing to do with my interest, and I don't have a core for cool LEDs, so that's an immediate roll. And those are not great items. Not great items at all. I kind of want to float first aid him, but I'm running into space problems. I'm going to leave him on the table. Again, I probably just have enough haste already. He's not going to be great in that regard. We have spare change, gumballs, and a poison vendor. Poison vendor's generally pretty bad because he's an 8 gold reroll. I'm super wealthy, and he can sell enchanted items, so I'm going to check that out.
Who is it?
Oh, Hacksaw, I forget you exist every time. Anyway, Virus and Copperhead are both pretty terrible. Hacksaw is absolutely not it, but I will spend 8 gold to roll here. Toxic Missiles is genuinely a strong card, and it can work with Power Drill. Just not when you don't have a core to reload the damn thing, unfortunately. Now, is there ever a world where the core can go back in to reload a Toxic Missiles? I put the weaponized core in, I bring in Toxic Missiles, I throw it on the far right. It seems bad, right? Yeah, weaponized core is just very slow in the late game. That shit's still at bronze. I'm not doing that. So I'll go ahead and pass here, unfortunately. Obviously, the biggest hit was just find golden toxic power drill, right? Ah, there's Dragon. It's the last chance to go off the rolls and high roll into the sunset. I mean, it's 5 experience, and I'm pretty damn confident I kill it, so I'm fighting this every time. If we get Dragon Skill, the run goes to the moon. If we get Dragon Heart, the run goes to the moon. If we get anything else, it's either 8 gold or 20 regen, all of which are good. Now, I might have overestimated the build. I haven't had a power drill build exactly like this against Dragon in a very long time, but I'm pretty sure we crush, right? Yeah, no problem. It's a little bit close to the second use of the Fire Claws, but not actually even happening. So we killed him in about 14 seconds flat. That's pretty good for 3,000 damage on day 8. Hey, good. The run continues to make sense and be valuable as an instructional thing. Woo! It finally paid off. Look at that. Makeshift barricade doing its job. The drill is slow 1 for 2. I imagine the metronome is slow 1 for 1. Yes. And then the Shadowed Cloak, I think, is slow 1 for 3. So it's kind of an interesting choice here, where if I get the Languid Dunes on the metronome, that's more slow procs for 2 seconds instead of 3, because I'm going to be using the table leg on it. If I put it on the Shadowed Cloak, that's by far the best slow, which is a massive amount of disruption. But I believe Hotspot is bugged and only works with like the actual item all the way to the left. If you have a passive item on the left, it doesn't actually function. And I will be going specifically to burn vendors for skills like Hotspot in the future. But there are 2 other hits at this point in the game with Grease Fire and the Poison Burn skill. I think I go Languid Dunes here and I put it on the Cloak. It makes the drill massively faster. It's an insane amount of disruption. I obviously never randomize that enchant. Just getting a new status ailment for the drill is fantastic. And getting that status ailment, the drill is so much closer to infinite now that we change the way the build works every single time. Because now it's going to double haste and slow when it goes off. That's a 6-second charge. It's very, very good. I want to move all of this to the other side so that we get the burn on our fastest item. Micro Dave's kind of not that incredible anymore, but he's probably good enough. Andy can give us a Fiber Optics, which is very, very good. However, we have a great Grandmaster. It didn't really come up in this run. I haven't had to skip any skills. But Grandmaster only sells you the skills you have, and only 2 of them. So if you just take every skill you're offered and they don't really do anything for your build, Grandmaster is often a pretty bad vendor. However, if you only take the good skills, like we've done, what are our options? +3 burn on a soldering iron, or unfortunately, right-handed's kind of getting bricked right now. I could give up a multicast on soldering iron to change out an item and get this in. That probably happens eventually. The thing is, 3 burn is still probably better than 10 damage. We're maybe mostly drill at this point. I think the additional trigger on the metronome, like I think I'd rather have the 1 more use of a big soldering iron right now. I don't think it's currently worth dropping the Chris Army Knife just to get, what is it, +20 damage? Yeah, that we can go without. This is better for the metronome. Now, as I've said repeatedly, C-Fight, Click Fight, not going to explain why we don't need to click those. We've been not clicking them all run. Middle's not a great shop, really can't upgrade anything I care about. I said I'm not going to explain it, immediately went off about it. And also the other one's an economy option when I have 34 gold and everything I need. So, don't really need it. And once we start going off, is it infinite? No, it's not stacking up, it's not crazy. It's very, very fast and very, very good, but nowhere near infinite. Which is what I expected, but it is sad to see all the same. So over half of our damage was from that, despite the fact that we dealt 150 burn, which means our damage rate is very, very good. Oh, I should have checked how often it actually went off. It might, this sounds crazy, it might still be better to do this. I'm gonna believe I had it the right way because it felt correct in my gut. I should have looked at that recap longer to figure out... I mean, I'm recording my footage. I could theoretically stop recording, look at the footage, and see. Fine, I'll do it. So looking at the end stage recap here, the drill is by far my fastest item, and it's not even close. Okay, good. The reason I wonder if the drill is a mistake is because this lighter goes off first. If it gave the haste here, the soldering iron goes off faster. It just feels like it might... it's frustrating. I'll try it in the monster fight, but for now, my understanding and that recap both seem to imply that this is the best board. I would love to be able to sim it and like just toss this over and see if it gets better, but for now, I'm going to trust what I just did was correct. He's undefeated. I'm 6 out of 7. I don't view those as different win rates. It's the same shit. Let's see if he's stronger than me. Shielded Shark Ray is pretty scary. Tiny Dancer, gold rigged, gold figurehead. I'm not going to get a... Oh, those slows are going to hurt. I'm also going to slow him a lot, but because my board got so disrupted, I don't know, the 4-second slow is doing a lot. I thought I would just lose here, but the Shadowed Cloak is just more disruption than 2 Elusive Rays. Holy shit. However, I appear to be losing anyway because of Shielded. Wait. Not even close, baby. I would like to thank the Heavy Enchant for carrying that to its victory. I was wholly reliant on that to stand any chance of winning, but we got there. Shark Ray went off 3 times to my Drill's 19. I think my carry idol might be slightly faster than his. And even though it didn't affect the startup time, like the advantage of this swap, I think, is that it starts faster, but a fight that goes long, I think this is definitely and clearly better. Anyway, C-Fight, Click Fight, let's stop talking about it. Blood Reef Captain, no problem. Is there anything here I would care about? I don't have a vehicle, I do have a weapon, I do have a tool. So 10% cooldown reduction would be fantastic. That never triggers, the rest of this isn't very good. This build always makes me so sad. Like, why is the Captain's Wheel doing literally nothing? Like, I get the idea that, like, maybe if it were next to the flagship, it would be too strong. At least put it between these 2 guys so it's not completely useless, right? But it's also supposed to be the easiest fight for the day, and it's very nearly a meta build, so I get why they made it worse. Now, duty skills are terrible when you drop the core and have multiple friends, which is the case we're in. Crit skills are just generally bad, and burn skills are insane, so we click that one. There are 2 massive hits here. None of these are it. Burn containment is the first 5 times you burn. Charge Chris Army Knife, no thanks. The first time you fall below half health, burn 20, not a big deal. Don't use large items. We roll that. That's rough. Plus 3 burn is not a massive hit here. Conflagration's probably just directly more burn pretty immediately. Burning Shield can be very good. It essentially combines with Hard Shell for a much bigger shield. But honestly, it's not that good. I think I value the offenses more. It's close. I think I go Conflagration on this, though. One of the awkward things with it is if I get a burn enchant on the metronome down the line, I don't use the metronome, so it won't upgrade, but that's such a minor detail. Who cares? It's already good enough on Soldering Gun, right? Is it, though? Soldering Gun has to go off twice before it's break even. It's the 3rd time where I benefit. I mean, if I kill my opponent and under 3 uses of soldering iron, I think I'm just pretty happy. Like, I think I should plan for them living through the soldering gun, and like, it goes off at 6 seconds, then permanent haste, so it goes off at 9 seconds. If they're dead in under 12 seconds, then I don't think it mattered which skill I took here. Burning Shield likely isn't going to do enough. I just don't generate all that much burn, and if I drop to half health very quickly, which is when I'm most alarmed by it, like 1-weapon builds, I won't have stacked up much burn. I think this is Conflagration. There are massive hits there. It's a pretty low roll for the burn vendor, to be honest, but we can live. Shield before PvE fight's a no-go. The Colt's just a bad event that has nothing of value for almost every build, so that's an easy Kina. Maybe we get Fiber Optics. Well, like I said with Pyrocarbon earlier, doesn't really work. Probably haste capped already if I can just get a little bit more triggers. I will upgrade the metronome. It doesn't matter, probably, but it could, theoretically. Like, if my whole board were permanently slowed, then maybe it matters for soldering gun speed. Probably not, but I have unlimited money, and I will roll here. Don't really see a world where I'd use a solar farm here. Seems basically impossible, so I'm going to leave. My eyes immediately go to Ferris Khan here because his skill for 3x damage but 1.5x cooldown is so strong sometimes, but it's probably a massive mistake on a drill build, right? I can't imagine that's correct. So I'm going to be going weapons platform here just for most gold and experience. 12% crit's a good hit. The rest of this is just varying degrees of gold and 1 complete whiff. It always feels good to be up 600 health on the hardest encounter of the day. I think we're strong. I just don't know that we're well poised to go 10 wins without finding something else. We just really need an additional enchantment is the thing. That's part of the reason that experience is so valuable. It pushes you closer to level 19 for the second enchantment if your run goes really long. But I don't think we ever get there in this run just because... Oh, that's the biggest possible hit. That's nice. But I don't think we'll ever get to day 19 because we have a good win rate early, which means that if I start losing, I'm going to die pretty quickly. Like, right now, if I lose 2 fights, I'm dead. And I need to win 3 fights. So there's 5 days left maximum. This run ends on day 14. So I probably just will not live long enough to get to level 19 for that second enchant. My other enchantments would be random hour events or death. This is actually an interesting one. Chocolate bars for health is not bad. Curio for a chance at Salamander Pup is not bad. For wings and feathers is not bad. 1 XP is not bad. I'm hitting level 13 for tomorrow, guaranteed. I'm hitting level 12 today already. This doesn't affect the most important next 2 breakpoints for leveling. And I do think I care about the wings and feathers offered at Curio. So between that and Salamander Pup, I just think it's worth. Although that's all just trash. Is there any argument for an icicle? It's a start of combat freeze. We already have start of combat slow. I'm going to store this icicle in my stash. That could potentially result in an instant cast drill down the line. Just start of combat begin going off, which is tremendously important. Right now, though, it's not happening. The rest of this, pretty much useless, not interested. Got a little bit of damage. Don't have a reason to sell this stuff, but it's just inconvenient to have in my stash, so I'm going to sell an extra one.
Now that's a bargain.
Oh, that bug is if you open your stash too quickly. Anyone wondering how I'm opening my stash without clicking it? That is because spacebar opens your stash, and I have that bound to a mouse button. Is there a world where I drop lighter for icicle in my coming fights? I don't think there is. That seems crazy. It doesn't seem that crazy, but it seems a little bit crazy. Gold tier loot item for 2 gold or 3 gold every time. Gunpowder. I don't know what that's for, but pull and 5 gold are both worthless, so we click Mysterious Portal. The average value of this in the late game is pretty good. Bazaar Con's great. This is just 2 experience. You can also get 3 small items pretty bad, or 1 diamond item pretty bad. You very rarely Hail Mary on those. Just 2 experience is great. There's not a reason to click the other options. It is a Vanessa. That is, if you were going to put Icicle in against anyone, the person to put it in against. But it really does hurt the longevity of the build. Like at 3 seconds, the drill is equal, which is immediately. And then at all future points, I'm down in charges, down in burn. This is only right if it's going to save my life against a 1-weapon build, and frankly, I don't think it's going to. So I am going to go fight OP Dragon Toad and see how it goes. I think this is the best configuration of items I have. I don't think the Icicle is right. He is not 1 weapon, so the Icicle was definitely wrong. Fiery Pufferfish Turtle Shell. That's definitely scary with 2 pearls. That might be enough shield to kill me. I do full slow that board, though. Is there an infinite loop happening? No. So the full slow is going to matter a lot. Full slow will be the reason we win, then. That's just an insane amount of disruption, and it kills his build. He could have scaled up his shields pretty monstrously, but we deal a massive amount of burn, have a great way of punching through initial small amounts of shields, and we just disrupt them into the ground with the 4-second slow on Shadowed Clip. I would say that was definitely worth giving up Hotspot for. Not that we even have Hotspot, but like, you know what I mean. Again, shop that's not good, 5 gold, Mystery Portal, good average value, let's see what it does. Hey, sure, this is what you hoard gold for. This is one of the things that make it worth it. Turbo Nitro. It's 3 triggers, man. It is burn me, burn them, haste an item. That's a lot better than a lighter, but it's also a lot better than Micro Dave. I'm gonna buy the Nitro. Heavy Sander seems crazy. Radiant Red Button does nothing, but I am gonna roll. It's worth it. Ah, these are not good items, are they? I could do this. Drop the Micro Dave, run Turbo Nitro and lighter. I could even drop the Chris Army Knife to get the multicast, move this over because it's a tool. Or not the multicast, to get the plus damage here. I'm still not convinced that's right, but because Chris Army Knife isn't doing anything, hasting and charging him is very bad. It's making my shield bash a lot worse. I think this might actually be my best build currently. Anyway, the rest of these enchanted items are awful, so I'll be on my way. 240 health, less than that for gold or JJ. I'm gonna take 240 health because it's just the best value guaranteed. I don't need to sell anything because I don't have anything that generates after fight on this character. We go veteran octopus and we get a chance to see, is this better? Do I feel like I've made my build stronger or weaker? Probably weaker. I think the multicast is super valuable, but that's just remove Icicle and put in Chris Army Knife. Yeah, the burn output has dropped tremendously. Definitely want the Chris Army Knife in here. I also really want one more enchant. It kind of matters. But that's what PvE fights are for. You get to test your build and see how to improve it. If I got hyper focus, I'd be so sad. Please don't give that to me. Okay, thank God. Toss the katana. I want to hold that gunpowder basically forever. Going to take the icicle out for now. I think we're just done with Micro Dave though. Here we can upgrade an item. That's a diamond drill, sure. But gold skills can be so much better than 25 damage. Just even a weapon skill is more than 25 damage. So there's no reason to settle for that upgrade. Does nothing without a core, don't poison, don't really have good freeze items. Don't charge it that much anyway, going to roll there. The first 5 times you use a tool slow, that does accelerate us at the start. Haste is less valuable, I think. I don't have a vehicle. So these are really valuable for speeding up my start time quite a lot. I think Sabotage is better because the most important items already have haste forever. So just getting my disruption down faster is the way to go. And that was massively better than a drill upgrade. I'm very happy with that. Cinders are great. Quicksil's kind of bad. Grandmaster is incredible. Huh. 4% crit seems worse than 4 more uses of Shield Bash. So I'm going to take the Shield Bash. But Diamond Shield Bash is making it a lot harder to stomach this Chris. I'm going to. Oh, you know what? He slows the first time he goes off now. It's not nothing anymore. Still pretty bad. 13 regen, Gumballs, Curio. Not actually poor, am I? 4, 12, 16. No, I'm not poor. I've got 20 gold I can liquidate over here. 14 gold, 7 income. I still don't think Gumballs is right. 13 regen doesn't matter at this point. I will go Curio. They're still just big hits in terms of the generic buffs you can offer. I have not seen a single cooldown item all game. Okay, we found one, finally. Going to sell this, make a little bit of room. Buy the feather. I didn't even really look at what was in the store. I think it was all garbage, but I might be wrong about that. Hopefully I didn't skip like an icicle upgrade just now or anything that gave flat damage. Speaking of, that's a little bit of flat damage. 1% crit chance seems worth 1 gold.
Trash is tragedy. Reuse everything.
And is it worth 3 gold to get 30 max health? Maybe.
There 20 years.
I've got the money, may as well use it. Hate that bug to bits. Alright, I feel pretty damn strong for day 10. It's a Dooley that died, but that can actually give them a massive advantage with power drills. Still, it's a very good build. I don't know that I'm weak against power drill at all. And I'm certainly not afraid of a man named Sleepy Toad. That's just not an intimidating name, you know? Toxic Pierre Conditioner, Restorative Power Drill. It sounds a little bit wrong. He's charging the Pierre Conditioner, but it's only frees 1 item. Should I care? I'm pretty sure this is full board slow. We cripple him and we win. Yeah, like the Pierre Conditioner is good. The rest of the build, not so much. Okay, we get there. I am jealous of his enchants, but I mean, I guess I have an extra one too. His skills are not fantastic. His drill went off 5 times, mine 14. Better drill wins. And that is basically a picture of why the meta is what it is. His critical core really just wasn't doing a whole lot. We're both just all in on drill, but one of us abandoned core for items that make the drill better, the other one didn't, and that was the major difference in that fight. Here, it's an economy event, a bad shop, and Finn's Big Bite. I'm just going to keep pushing health. I cannot give up guaranteed value for a small chance at specifically fiber optics and isochoric freezer at a shop. Weapon skill does next to nothing. Crit skill does next to nothing. Adira could be anything. Crazy output on diamond skills. You always take Adira, basically. First burn freeze is genuinely very good. 10 uses of Lefty Lucy, and it's highlighting the drill like it's smart targeting and knows that it's working on this one, so maybe not all drills are bugged. Or, it's not drills. Maybe not all leftmost skills are bugged then. I've already got a lot of haste, though, right? Like, If I can just do a little bit better, I don't need Lefty Lucy. Frostfire is very good, but I already have a ton of disruption with my slow. I'm being greedy here. There's a very real argument that I should just buy Lefty Lucy. I say buy. It's easy to roll and get something worse than this. I think this is enough to reliably win on day 11. I think I don't need it to reliably win on day 11. I think I'm stronger than most day 11 builds. It's just not that good. Like, it doesn't feed into making the drill infinite. That's the problem. I already have 2 haste. I don't want another one that runs out. Rewarded for the greed as hard as physically possible. When you use a tool, burn 5. This is now 3 triggers of an additional burn. This is an additional burn. And most importantly, the drill is an additional burn. The build just went to the moon. 10 wins secured. That's why we roll, baby. That's why you don't settle for Lefty Lucy in a drill build. Anyway, I'm going to take flat health because the only thing I'm afraid of is getting one shot. Like, Kina is a good shop. She is filtering down pretty aggressively towards the stuff I care about, being Isochoric Freezer and Fiber Optics. But I think my odds of winning go up more consistently if I just keep pushing max health, which I've been doing for a while now. And we crush Arkin here. We would love to get the when you use anything shield skill just because it gives us so much defense against burn. But really, we're here for 5 experience. And yeah, you can see that the drill is infinite now. In fact, because the drill is infinite, we want to put in that icicle now. I've just realized that we don't really care about this Isochoric Freezer anymore. Just freeze something at the start and get the drill going faster. I think there is no room for a thrusters in the build, though it is an interesting item. Here, I'm actually going to take Relax for the first time all run. We're going to try to close out the game on day 11 with this extra shield. Hopefully, we won't get a fight on the next hour. Gold tier loot item for most economy, most value. Grumble, grumble. And a useless loot item to boot. So it's weird, right? If I click Epic Battle, I lose 1400 shield in my next fight. If I hadn't just been given Relax, I would click this every time. If these had come in the other order, I'd click Epic Battle, then Relax every single time. I have so much health for a day 11 dueling. I am so strong. I think if I lose by a landslide. I think if something beats me, it is a monstrously strong build. Damn it, I can't even check to see how the Icicle's doing against this guy. Would I run Blizzard just because my drill is that strong? Like if they have, what? I have Start of Combat Rust. Isn't there another one? Oh, Start of Combat Freeze here. So if they have 3 items that get froze by Blizzard, the drill just starts going off. I think I would take Blizzard here. I would love Invigorating Cold. That's definitely way, way better. I'll take some gold, I guess. Kind of expected that. Well, there goes my shield for the PvP fight. It is a crashed out pig, which is a little bit scary. Let's get into it. This is probably the last fight of the game. Pig tends to be not particularly resilient to slowing effects, and our slow has been carrying the run since we got the enchant. He is deadly pawn shop, so it's all 100% crits. Is he lion caning? He is. Good random freeze, but it doesn't one-shot me, so I'm pretty sure he was dead to... Oh, wait. Spices says it is dealing... No, it still doesn't one-shot me. It doesn't matter. What was the shield from? Because it was way more... Oh, first item activation defense grid. So it goes to 2.6, doubles to... Yeah, I still live that. It's fine. Not even close, baby. I actually would have taken less damage if I icicled anything else, because then the spices would have went off second, but oh well. And yeah, not a bad big build, but we just have so much health. Like, this is a pawn shop pig, but he's only doubling my health with a 3.8k pawn shop, right? And a belt. Wait, no. So we can take his health, divide it by 175 to get 1%, then multiply by 100 to get what it actually was, then minus 3820. Am I doing this wrong? Is his base health 4,000? This guy have a pawn shop and literally no bonus health events from anything? Oh, he's 3 levels down under me. That's part of it. So you can see the massive difference between my base health pool and his. Because, like, only being doubled in health by a pig with a belt and a diamond pawn shop is wild. But I've been pushing health and experience all run. I've made the greedy choices that allowed me to assemble the power drill build into something that was really effective. I didn't quite get it to start on combat start. I was really hoping to find like an invigorating cold or something else that triggered at start of combat. Because the builds where an icicle goes off and your drill just starts infinite chaining are insane. But with the enchants offered, not finding a second enchant altar, It's still a really good build. It had the possibility of scaling way higher than this, but we just won a little bit too quickly to scale it any further. Anyways, while I was doing the review for this video, I found out that I was really frazzled yesterday, and it was actually Vanessa's Overexplained I didn't record. And that means I've already done the Overexplained for Dooley, so I guess Dooley's getting fucking 3 of them. One of them that's like not actually valuable, but I think this one's valuable for how to drill build, and the other one's valuable for trying to like how to salvage something when your drill build's going horribly wrong. And none of them are crazy high rolls for a drill, so that's actually pretty nice. No one's gonna be like, oh, you just duped a drill. Nothing you did matter. I can't reliably dupe drills. And it's like, 1, yes, you actually can reliably dupe drills. It's like half your runs. But 2, also, you don't need to dupe the drill. You can do very well without the duped drill, and here's the proof. Anyways, I think this run is a great showcase of why the drill is so common, because even when you don't dupe the drill, when you don't get the absolute nuts and have multiple skills, you can still just easily find a metronome and a shadowed cloak, get literally any status ailment enchant on one of them, find a skill that's doing the same thing, fill your board with small shit that's making your board fast status debuffs. You can even get it to trigger at start of combat if you high roll with stuff like Icicle, Rust, Rigged, that sort of thing. It's such a strong build with so many ways to bring it to 10 wins, and there's a reason that I was expecting to do drill runs and ended up doing nothing but 3 drill runs when doing Overexplained for Dooley. It just came out that way. For Dooley. Right now, optimizing Dooley is synonymous with drill Dooley. That doesn't mean all of your runs end up being a drill build, but it means all of your runs start off trying to be a drill build. Anyways, that'll be all for now. Thank you for your time. If you made it this far, then I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you aren't already subscribed for more daily content just like this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.